Technically brilliant. Can you recommend a good dating site for men who need a woman to understand the guy's shaving requirements? I probably could if I thought about it. I think I'm very lucky that way. Mrs. H is very good. So replicate my wife. You'll be alright. Cerna348. I'm curious as to know how to keep track of your blades and usage. Oh, I'm curious as to know how I keep track of the blades I've used. You seem to use different blades in each video, and also how many shaves are on the specific. How do you keep track? Right, this is how I do it. Some people use a dice, and they put the blade out of the razor, put it down, and if they've used it once, they put the dice on number 1. The way I do it, simple. I've got a piece of cardboard, and I've got 1 to 5 on that cardboard. If I've used the blade once, it goes on the number 1. If I've used a blade twice, it goes on the number 2. Now there may be several blades on the number 2. It could have a Gillette blade, I could have a Wilkinson sword blade, a Persona red blade. There could be 10 blades on number 2. I can see what make it is by looking at it, and I know they've all been used. It's been used twice. Very rarely I use 5, obviously, or 4. But normally 1, 2 and 3, and once I've used it once goes on number 1, used it twice goes on 2, and so on. Simple. But keep it away. If you've got children, keep it high up, or tell your wife if they interfere and move things, not to touch them, because you need to know what you're doing. That's how I do it. So yeah. Right, we're back in another location. The room was needed downstairs. I was filming downstairs, so in my little sort of hideaway here. The next question was from B Sharp. That's a good name. Who's your favourite footy club? Do you really think Leicester is going to win the EPL, or possibly Tottenham? I don't follow football that much, but if I was to follow a football club, it would be Liverpool. Ryan Howell. Hey Paul, what was the first wet shaving products you bought and used after changing from the multi-cartridge razors to the traditional wet shave? Well, I started DE shaving in the beginning, and the first razor I ever used was I used my father's the Slim Twist, and then I bought my own Wilkinson Sword Classic, and they remained, well, the Wilkinson Sword Classic remained with me, and then I went to the electric and then to the multi-blades, and then I saw sense and came back to it. It wasn't long, and then I've never looked back then. It's a fantastic journey, and it gets better. Donald Edmonton. Which fat tip handle do you prefer? I own the Grand, but it is a bit on the light side. Yeah, I prefer the Piccolo. I like the heavyweight. US man or Usman Malik. Paul, if you can make a beginner starter pack, what would it include? Good question. It would include probably a Wilkinson Sword Classic, a Palmolive shaving soap or Palmolive shaving cream, a pack of Wilkinson Sword double-edged blades. What else would there be? Razor, blade, probably a Wilkinson Sword. No, well, you've got to keep the cost down to, so yeah, Wilkinson Sword brush. and probably something like easily got at something like a Nivea Blue moisturising cream. I wouldn't put any witch hazel in. They could use water to start off, and if they enjoyed the experience, then they could build up on that. That would be a starter pack, I think, for me, from me. Move down. Todd Baker. I've used a Persona Blue for 2 weeks before it started getting dull, so I'm curious, what's the longest you've shaved with the same razor blade? Well, the longest I've said was the Wilkinson sword blade, and I had 5 shaves out of it. The 2 weeks, it depends. Do you shave once a week? Do you shave every day? I presume you shave every day. And if that's the case, that's a fantastic length of time. But yeah, Wilkinson sword, 5 shaves. Richard Cornish. Have you ever sliced your finger while changing the blade? I only ask because he did it and he grabbed the... Thanks very much, Richard. Yeah, I have. Yes, I have grabbed... I've even cut my finger on the edges, and that's why I mention in the videos overhang. Grabbing the blade. A few times I've, not concentrated and had a cut, and it doesn't take long. It's my fingers and my face. Cajun Shaver. Hi Paul, enjoy the videos. My question is about DE blades. I see they have a Wilkinson sword classic from Germany and the Gillette Wilkinson sword from India. Have you used both, and if so, is there a difference? In all my honesty, I don't know, because I buy Wilkinson swords in a multi-pack. They come from a UK distributor. Have I got any with me here? Probably not, but they don't say, I don't think, have I got any here? No. They don't say where they're made. I can't answer that one. Germany. I'd probably go with Germany, the ones I use. So I couldn't answer the India, really. But I haven't the ones I've used, I've never noticed a difference in them. No. That's the best I can give you with that one, sorry. Jacob Rivera. Hey Paul, how are you doing? I'm doing very well, thanks very much. Right, where are we? Andrew Bloomfield. Let's have your top 5 tips for DE shavers based on your experience over the years. Top 5 tips. First one, preparation. Shower. Rinsing with hot water, or warm to hot water, hot towels, whatever. Preparation. Second one would be to make sure that the razor is in good condition and usable, is clean, the blade is sharp and clean. Them go together, so that would be 2 tips. The third one would be absolute no pressure on the razor, no matter what it is or what blade's in it. Just touch the skin, let it do the work, skim your face. It won't take it off on the first pass, that's the secret. Second pass, go again, and then third against. Another tip would be, if you experience any severe pain, something's wrong. So don't do an against the growth pass if you suffer severe irritation, because it'll get worse. Your skin that's another one, give your skin time to adjust. It does take time, more so for some than others. But good preparation before the shave. Make sure the shaving products are in good working order. Very light touch, no pressure during the shave. Create your lather, do it properly, give it its best. Don't just do anything and say, oh, that's rubbish. You know, do it properly. The fourth one, or fifth are we on, enjoy it. Want to do it and enjoy it. Have fun, and don't, and you know, very important one, let's say this is number 5, tweak the shave to you. None of us are the same. Tweak the shave. What do you mean by tweak? Well, if somebody says go with the growth, that's a map your face. Always see which way your beard grows and go with that growth. So if it grows down here and across there, go on the first pass down and then across. Follow the growth on the first pass, but enjoy it. You know, take your time and enjoy it. So I hope that. Thanks for that question, Andrew. Mark Mongo 44. What are your top 3 favourite Scotch? I'm not a Scotch drinker really. A friend of mine who's from Scotland, the West Coast, he brought a single malt in a black bottle. He wouldn't say what it was called, but it was the nicest drink I've ever had. Nothing like Bell's or what he calls firewater. So I couldn't answer that. I'm not a Scotch drinker really. Sharon M. Hello Paul, my son got me started on wet shaving almost a year ago when he gave me a Merca 23, an Amiga ball brush and Geotrumpers Rose shaving cream for my Mother's Day, which in America is in May. I'm now hooked and we enjoy watching your videos. My question is, what does Mrs. H use for her shaving and what's her favourite? Thanks for all you do. Thanks Sharon. And yeah, that is, you have got a kind son. The comment underneath by Alistair. Right, Mrs. H, believe it or not, doesn't use a double-edged razor. She could use one of mine to try, but I think she's a bit scared of them. But she uses some pink, I take much notice, like a double blade, I think, or triple blade razor, and she has used, like a wet shave, she's used soap as she sort of showered or whatever, but I think she also uses a special shaving cream she's bought for women, for leg shaving and stuff like that. So yeah, she uses still these multi-blade lady shave things. That's good, isn't it? But whatever, works, you know. I think she's a bit scared of the double edge. We'll have to try her one day. I'll have to try and say, use that and see how you get on. Anyway, thanks Sharon. Gail Strand, or Gaily Strand. Are you the king of the DE? No, not at all. Not a king, no. There's many people out there better than me. I'm just a normal person who just makes videos on shaving. You know, like anybody else. Do you lather? I'm a king for my shaves, by the way, my own, but no, not to somebody else. Or because of the channel, anything like that. Do you lather up prior to doing the videos? Yes. I do generally lather up before filming because it saves on the time, because you know how long my videos go on for. But sometimes I do incorporate it into the video every now and again, because some people like to see that. Mark Creighton. Hi Paul, 2 questions. What's your favourite Taylor of Old Bond Street soap scent? Well, for many years it was the scent in the black tub Taylor of Old Bond Street for sensitive skin, the German Street collection, I think it was. But out of there, all the soaps, my favourite is the grapefruit. No question about it, grapefruit. Question 2. Have you ever used a DE razor that you couldn't get on with no matter how much you tried? Yes. It was called a Figaro, and it was the worst razor I've ever seen in my life. It wasn't even constructed properly. It was out, and it should have been banned actually. It shouldn't be for sale. It's dangerous. If a new DE shaver bought that on a budget, they would never turn to DE shaving again. Absolutely disgusting razor. Figaro it was called. And if that was a one-off mistake, it's bad luck for them because I picked it. Ricardo Coelho. Again, my apologies if I'm saying it wrong. Your favourite song of Iron Maiden? I have no idea. I know them, but I couldn't name a song. Ivo Antazov. Oh, sorry. Ivo Antazov. I'm trying my best. I really look forward to your shaved Dentor. Oh, well, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Phil Farmer. How have you been? I've been very well, thanks, Phil. This may very well have been asked already. Forgive me if it has. How long have you been wet shaving? And what was your first razor? Probably now. If you include the gap, you know, I started DE shaving, so 25 years. It's got to be 20, maybe more, but 25 years, if not longer. It's got to be longer than that. Yeah, it could be a bit longer. Say 25. It's roughly right. And the first razor I used was my father's Gillette Slim Twist, and the first razor I bought was a Gillette Wilkinson Sword Classic. And we'll move down the screen. Right, Mozidur Rahman. Mozidur Rahman. I hope that's right. I hope you know who you are. Paul, the Persona Reds you have been using isn't available on Amazon UK, but it's available on the USA. Did you? And the USA responded. Right, I got them. They came from abroad, the pack I bought, and I think they did come. Did they come from? It was either Turkey or America. I can't remember now. I'm sure it was. I got a feeling it was Turkey for some reason. But it came from abroad, so it's either Turkey or America. I can't remember which straight off my head now. Right, Cariza 5. Paul, Jock Stewart. How are you, Jock? What do you think makes the best lather out of Arco and Palmolive shave sticks? Well, they're both good, but Arco, in my mind, is a bit quicker. Not much, mind, but it's a creamier soap. Arco is a creamier shaving soap altogether. So I would say Arco lathers the best. And what's the worst shave soap and best soap you've ever used? And would you ever use a Dove soap bar, which is mild soap, or Little Brand to shave with? I tell you what I am going to use in a future video is Imperial Leather bar of soap, and I'm going to shave with that. I would use a Dove, yeah. Dove soap is good, yeah. It's a creamy soap. I haven't tried the Lidl brand, but or Lidl as they say. What's the worst shave soap and the best one? The best one ever for scent would be Tale of Old Bond Street Grapefruit, and it's a good soap. The worst shave soap, Well, to be honest, it would be something like the Geo Trumpers Sandalwood hard soap, because it took so, and there's a few was it Williams mug shaving soap, that's another one. When they're going, they're not bad soaps in themselves, it's just the lather process. So that would be, for me, that can turn a soap bad. Even though, you know, when it's worked, it comes better. But something like, yeah, the Geo Trumpers Sandalwood, because it was such, you know, the expensive soap to buy compared to something like PaulHFilms or Arco, which are fantastic straight off the cuff. And you're having to mess about with these other soaps to get a decent lather. So that would be the worst. But the best soap would be in scent and in performance. You see, PaulHFilms good, the less expensive. But the best scent would be the grapefruit, Tale of Old Bond Street. Thank you, Jock. Matt Decory, or Decory. Hi Paul, my question is regarding the Merca Progress and Future. Which of the two would you prefer or recommend? I have fairly sensitive skin, nicks and cuts, so I would say the Progress out of those two, because the Future is far more aggressive, even on the lowest setting. So the Merca Progress, I would say. And good luck with it, Matt. And I'm going to apologise again for saying people's names wrong. Paul Calder. Love your videos, we have a similar sense of humour. Your enthusiasm is contagious. What tips do you have for daily DE shavers? Also, who would be your fantasy Sunday lunch dinner guests? Right, tips do you have for a daily shave? Right, well, you see, if I shaved every day, I would love to shave every day, but I wouldn't enjoy shaving every day because of my skin wouldn't take it. That's why I enjoy shaving as I do, twice a week for filming, especially. If you see now, you see, it's growing. But what would my tips be? Is good prep. I've said this before. Good prep. You know, shower, bath, hot flannels, whatever you want, anything on your face. Maybe if you're suffering from sensitive skin, like I copped it on the neck area, I added shaving oil first and then put the lather on top. It made a massive difference. But the biggest thing I could ever say is no pressure. On no matter what razor or blade you're using, no pressure as you shave. Take your time, it will come. You know, we want everything now, fast now, come on. It doesn't work like that. Take your time and very light touch. You might not feel like you're taking anything off. It will. 3 passes and fantastic. Those would be my tips. My fantasy Sunday lunch dinner guests would be, it would have to be, I would hire a huge hall. Well, maybe I wouldn't need to, depends how many turned up. And I would invite all viewers. I couldn't obviously cook for everybody, but it would be cooked to my specification, exactly how I would do it. And we would have a big Sunday lunch, and we would have a chat about shaving, maybe swap some products or show each other the products and have a good old chat. That'd be fantastic for me. Thanks, Paul. G. Commie 1977. I have one question. Did you ever try the Wilkinson Extreme 3? No, I didn't. Would be nice to see a review on a modern multi-blade. Right, it was an interesting thing this. I've thought of using, you know, one of the latest multi-blade razors. But the thing is, how can I put it? My problem with it's not the shave, because a new one, if you get a new, they're all good at shaving, There's a lot of work gone into creating these razors and blades, and there's nothing wrong with a shave. The first 2 shaves or 3 are fantastic. So you couldn't, you know, if I reviewed one, I'd say that was fantastic shave. But it's not, what I've got against it is the expense of it. And, you know, you can't get to a multi-blade to clean it properly. You can take a DE blade out, clean it, wash it, whatever. But you can't with a multi-blade. They clog up. And once that starts happening, and you've, say, got to 3 shaves, you have to buy a new set of blades, because you can't even buy 1 blade. Well, you can't do that with DE, really. You've got to buy 5 or 10, I suppose. But the cost is absolutely horrendous. So that's what I've got against it. It's not the razor itself. It's just the expense and how long they last, really. But never say never. I might try one in a video in the future. Right, Yoho57. Where does the endless supply of flowers come from? There's a flower shop we use. I featured it in one of the videos, and sometimes Mrs. H will buy them in a shop anywhere in town where she's passing or whatever. So they come from all over the shop, all over the you get that, all over the doesn't matter. So that's that one. Quotaniga 56. Where do you buy all of your products? Well, personally, I've been sent many products by viewers, by businesses, artisans and stuff like that. I've had a huge collection of vintage razors sent to me by Donald Navy Goat 23. I hope that number's right. I always forget the number bit. So I'm very lucky that way, very lucky that way. And some of the viewers have sent me products in the past several times, not just once. And but where I buy them is all over the place. I buy them locally if I see them, in any shops if I go away, London when I go, online, eBay, Amazon, and in some cases, well, a lot of cases, specific shaving websites. You only have to Google shaving shop or shaving, and you'll come up with all these different shops. And there's more in the UK online than you think. So I buy them from all over the place. VVT LIGT. Right. Are you keen on having a fan mail address so we can send you parcels and letters? Also, meetups like Joe from Queens, and go to a shaving shop and get some deli. That'd be fantastic, that. I am working on an address for items to go to. I work for the Royal Mail, so I am working on that. It's just a question of the cost I'm trying to sort out with them. So there should be an address coming shortly, or longly, depends how long it takes. But yes, I'd like to do meetups in the future, and as you say, go to a shaving shop, like similar what we did in London. We went around a few shaving shops there, and then went for fish and chips to this sort of back alley pub. Fantastic day it was, with a chap called Jeff. And I believe I missed 1 or 2 viewers who turned up, and we'd gone, I think, or something. There was only minutes in it, really, and but we'd have to arrange something properly. Yeah, it would be good. Alias Ibero. Hi Paul, I love the videos. Very informative and entertaining. You come across as a very kind person. Oh, thank you very much. Which one is your favourite classic shaving soap and why? Palmolive Classic, yeah. Palmolive, because it's so many memories. It's been used for decades in this country, down the eons of families, my family as well. And it's just a memory soap. It's good. it works, it's very inexpensive, and the scent is fantastic. 2. I keep my razor in a container with 90% alcohol after I finish shaving. I leave it in there for 5 minutes. Do you think this is a good practice, and will it ruin the razor? Well, I mean, putting it in alcohol to clean it is a good practice, but whether 5 minutes for every razor, it depends what the razor's made of, like plastic, or if it's a vintage razor with some the metal's aged, or it's got Bakelite or something like that, then it wouldn't be a good practice. So it depends really what the razor is. If you're using it on your razors and it's not affecting them, depends how long you've been doing it, but if you see no effects, or if you rinse it thoroughly after, I shouldn't see why there's a problem. Thanks for your question. Robert Allen: how are you doing, Paul? Very well, thanks. I really enjoy watching your videos. I've learned a lot wet shaving from you. I've been thinking about buying a fat tip. I have some people say that the blades don't line up easy in the fat tip. Is there any truth? Well, you can get a few, not just them razors. Any razor can have a slight movement when you put the blade on the head, and when you put it together, if it moves if there's room for movement, you've got to watch, and you'll get to know your razor. As long as it's level both sides, you can see the blade each side and it's more or less level, then you're fine. If it's out, then just slacken it and move it gently until you're happy with it, and then tighten it as quick as you can. But I've never had a problem with my fat tip, the Grand or the Piccolo. I've all just put the blade in, tightened in, it's been fine. So maybe it's a one-off. Some razors can, when they're made, can have a fault maybe, I don't know, but no, I've never had a problem with it. I cannot decide the fat tip Grand or the Piccolo. Well, they're both exactly the same razor head, so the shaving part is no difference. So it depends if you like a light or lighter handle or a heavy handle. They're both quite short. The Grand has a hollow handle, so it's lighter. The Piccolo is heavy. I prefer the Piccolo because I like the weight, so it's personal choice. Heavyweight Piccolo, lightweight Grand. Viktor Sarkovic, that's a good name. Serbia. Greetings from Serbia. The worst and best wet shaving experience regardless of the hardware and software used. Shaving experience. Well, it'd have to be that Figaro razor I bought, a cheap razor, absolutely disgustingly built. It was like a death trap waiting to happen. I used it because I knew how to sort it out for me, but I would never use it again. Disgusting. That's one of the worst experiences. As regards cuts or anything like that, I did in the early days of filming these videos, I did start shaving, because whether you realise it or not, sometimes when you film, when you start to film a wet shave, you can't take two. So once I've started shaving, I can't say, oh, I've done that wrong, I'll do it again. You have to keep going. So I once cut myself somewhere here, I think, I can't remember, it bled and bled. I had to stop filming. And I had to just record the shave a few days later when it healed. That's another one of the worst experiences I've had. So greetings to Serbia.